We spend our entire lives marching toward an imaginary finish line. You tell yourself that your current restlessness is a temporary condition. You believe that once you secure that specific level of wealth, climb to that next peak in your industry, or finally fix your external circumstances, a deep, permanent sense of peace will arrive. This is the unspoken contract you have signed with your own ego. You sacrifice the reality of today, gambling it entirely on the promise of a golden tomorrow. But if you look closely at your past, you will find a sobering truth. You have already arrived at milestones that your younger self would have wept tears of joy to achieve. Yet, the satisfaction dissolved within days of reaching them. The modern psychological establishment calls this devastating cycle the arrival fallacy. It is the chronic, deceptive illusion that reaching a specific destination will automatically grant you lasting fulfillment. We treat life like a mountain range, convinced that if we just scramble to the top of the next peak, the climbing will be over. But the moment your feet touch the summit, the illusion vanishes. The sky clears, and all you see stretching out before you are miles of higher, more intimidating mountains. The finish line you are sprinting toward does not exist. It is a phantom construct generated by a mind that is fundamentally terrified of standing still. To understand why this trap is so deeply embedded in your daily experience, we must look to the raw, uncompromising philosophy of Arthur Schopenhauer, writing in the 19th century. Schopenhauer stripped away all superficial optimism to examine the true architecture of human desire. He observed that the human mind is driven by a blind, relentless force he called the will. This will is an evolutionary engine. It does not care about your happiness or your peace of mind. It only cares about continuous striving, movement, and survival. Schopenhauer famously stated that human life swings backward and forward like a pendulum, moving perpetually between pain and boredom. Think deeply about the mechanics of that movement in your own life. When you want something you do not have, you experience the acute pain of lack. You feel empty, frustrated, and left behind by the world. You exhaust your health and your energy trying to close the gap. But the moment you finally conquer that objective, the tension breaks. The thrill of victory fades almost instantly, and in its place, a heavy, suffocating wave of boredom and existential emptiness rolls in. To escape this boredom, your mind immediately invents a brand new problem. It points to a new peak, constructs a new timeline, and forces you right back into the cycle of pain. You are not behind in life. You are simply trapped on a pendulum that you refuse to step off of. The philosopher Alan Watts exposed this exact cultural sickness by changing the metaphor entirely. He noted that our modern world treats life like a linear journey with a designated destination. We are told that the point of school is to get to university. The point of university is to get a career. The point of the career is to reach retirement. We treat our existence like a corporate growth chart. But Watts argued that life is not a journey. Life is much more akin to a piece of music. When you sit down to listen to a brilliant symphony, the point of the music is not to reach the final chord. If the goal of the song were simply to finish, then the fastest, most efficient orchestra would be considered the best. The purpose of a musical composition is found within the playing itself. The joy is located in the dance, the melody, and the movement of the specific note happening right now. When you judge your life by how far you are from your next peak, you are completely missing the symphony. You are sitting in the audience, ignoring the beautiful melody playing in the present. because you are frantically obsessing over how many minutes are left until the final curtain falls. You are turning an art form into a math problem. Look at the criteria you are using to measure your progress. Who wrote the rules for the timeline you are panicking over? We live in a hyper-digitized society that functions as a marketplace for curated perfections. Your mind takes the highlight reels of thousands of strangers, glues them together into an impossible standard, and then beats you over the head with it for failing to match it. You are measuring your internal, messy reality against an external, polished illusion. True progression has absolutely nothing to do with accumulating trophies on a mountain peak. It is your capacity to remain completely present, whole and content when you are standing in the quiet valley. If you cannot find peace exactly where you stand right now, you will never find it at the top of the mountain, because when you get there, the common denominator will still be you. You will bring the exact same anxious, restless, dissatisfied mind to the summit. You do not need to scramble to the next peak to validate your existence. The next time your mind attempts to plunge you into panic by claiming you are running out of time, look directly at the illusion. Recognize the arrival fallacy for what it is. Understand that the voice screaming that you are behind is merely the mechanical grinding of an evolutionary brain that doesn't know how to rest. Unclench your jaw. Drop the weight of your unearned expectations. Take your eyes off the horizon line and listen to the song that is currently playing. The climb is an illusion. There is nowhere to go. You have already arrived. This is Neon Silence. Join the silence.